Hey, welcome to Real Talk with Kevin a Croc.
Clever
Kevin a
Croc.
Croc. That's a crock of something. Hey, let's take two.
Take two.
Welcome to Real Talk with Kevin Brock at 7:02 o'clock. I
702.
was in the, I was in the meeting there, and I was in the wrong meeting, so I was Stony, but Stony was waiting on me, so that's on me. So 7:02. Welcome everybody. Glad to be here. Good to see you, Stony. I love the shirt that you got on. I
Yes, sir.
literally just got back out of infusion. I'm still alive. Life is good. Let's rock and roll. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about what's going on. Man, life is good. It's Thursday already. And I don't, yeah. Luckily, we do this on Thursdays because I don't know what day is what day. And I don't even know what schedule is what schedule. There's a phone charger plug in. Perfect.
Perfect.
All right. So the uh, the dinner is in the microwave, microwaving up, and the AC's on, the door's open. Hey, do I need a tilt or adjust?
Right. Nope. Oh, there you go. You're good. So,
Perfect.
so I had a busy day today running around. I actually went out to Chico to the tackle box today and did a little video, a little live video. You guys that were watching old farts fishing. I shared it to a bunch of places. We got like over 1,200 views already. And I did a little shopping while I was there, Kevin. It was pretty cool, and I wanted to show some of this stuff here. I picked up this little pink bottle here of this Kevin
It's kind of like a fuchsia. It's kind of like a
Fuchsia.
fuchsia, yeah, or more of a charisse. We'll
So,
stay away from the pink there, but yeah, yeah.
so I'm trying to figure out now that I bought this. I have some roe that's defrosting that was frozen. It's been in there for a while, but it's untouched, nice roe. And what do I do with this? How do I use this on my roe to make this
Oh
work?
man, we got to do a video of that.
You do.
Well, all right. On that's a special blend I use. That's for the Feather River. That in for about 3 more minutes, and I'll take the roe out once you thaw it. You can use frozen roe. That's okay, especially with that cure. Now you just shake a little bit on, like you would like a steak, just for seasoning to start, just a little bit. But the key thing is kind of get a paper towel and kind of dry it off because it'll be kind of slimy and gooey and stuff like that. And see if you can cut it down the middle and kind of open it up. Roe
Okay.
comes in what's called a skein, and normally there's two in each fish. Now, over the years of guiding, I found one in there. I'm like, wow, there's one skein, not two. And there was one time that I found three in salmon. Steelhead, I've done it a few more times, but there was three skeins. So that's kind of cool. So it's a little bonus, bonus egg. Fillet it open. And what I mean by that is just kind of open it open. There's skin on one side and the eggs are in the middle. You kind of fillet it open. And I like use a dull or butter knife because if you use a real sharp knife, it cuts through the egg and then that's just all a bunch of juice in there and then you ruin your egg. So I do a kind of butterfly and with a little butter knife and I just kind of cut through there. Let's see. There we go.
There you go.
This is the see, I can't see what I'm looking at, but this is the skein, and you kind of just butterfly it down, and those two fingers, I'd be cutting it open like that. So anyhow, I don't know if you can see that.
Yep.
Okay, good deal. So and then you just open it up, lay it on some paper towels, do it outside, and just shake that stuff on there. Now put some rubber gloves on there, and just kind of knead it around in there, knead it around a little bit, and shake a little, and do one more coating. Don't overdo it. But my cure is a what I call a soft cure. It's not going to burn it real hard. It's an upland. It's an upriver inland is what I was looking for. Cure that really really works well on the feather and the American and the sack. That's what I made it for. It won't burn your egg. It won't tear it up. Now, take that. You can put it in a Ziploc bag. Zip your Ziploc bag. Yeah, do a freezer bag. Storage bags are a little weak. Do a storage bag or a freezer bag. Kind of manipulate it all around. Knead it in there. It was good. It'll start juicing up. It's going to turn nice and red. Now, lay it in there. Go overnight. Rotate it once or twice. So all the juices are kind of all over it. and you're good to go. You can take that out and fish it the next day. I would prefer 2 days on it, but at least you could do the next day. Now, after you cure that all up, sometimes depending on the egg, where you got it from, and what river, and there's a lot to that. But the tightness of the egg, and you might shake it on, it might be kind of soft and not really hang on the hook real good. So you might need to let it air dry out. You can take it out, put it on a screen, put a fan on it. That's just going to depend on the egg. But as the cure goes, open your egg, and even if they're frozen, pre-frozen, that's fine. Shake a bunch on there, just a little bit more than you would a steak. Rub it around, and then do it again. Shake it again, then put it in your Ziploc bag. Cover the outside of the membrane. We call it the skin on there on each side, and then put it in your Ziploc bag, your freezer bag, not storage bag. Wear rubber gloves or do it outside because the stuff will stay in your hands. But that's the cure I use. Now, you can toughen it up and you can add lots of stuff to it. That's your base. Like a lot of the guys on the American, they love the anise oil, or the licorice oil, or you can add that to it. You can add garlic. The guys on the Klamath, oh man, the garlic, use the garlic. I've tried it all in different places. A good egg, you really don't need to scent up a lot. That cure will cure the eggs, and it'll be, and again, you can let it go 3-4 days. That cure will hold up, for a week, and then you can just go and freeze it again. And then when you take it out, it's going to milk more. It's going to milk out faster. And milking out is actually a pretty good thing. Some guys say, oh, the egg looks so good, but there's no milk to it. You want that stuff milking out. You want it scenting. You want it smelling for these fish over here. Now, there's all different types of cures. I mean, I fish from Alaska and different rivers in Alaska want different cures. But that's what I made for basically the Feather River and American River. The Sac, I use something a little different. And the Klamath, I definitely use something different there than fish. But for these fish over here, it's good to do. Now, you can squeeze some crawdads on your roe. You can trim up, things like that. You trim up some crawdad tails, add a little puffball to it. Man, we got to do a video on that.
We do,
guys.
we
do. We've got so much video to do for you guys, and we're just running out of time. Literally, I ran through the door and got off the water, got here, got my infusion. We're doing the best we can do for everybody. But great to.
Yeah, so we're gonna try this out. We're going to the Feather, probably down by Boyd's Pump. I've been hearing a few people telling me I need to launch out of Yuba City and go down to the rapids there above Shanghai Bend. That can be a little sketchy sometimes in a prop. Depending on where the sandbars are and when the water flow. We're thinking of going to Boyd's Pump and go up to where the rapids are right below the rapids. So it's just a matter of above, below. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out and try that. But we also got these cool little spinners. Every color you can imagine. We got I went shopping and got some purple, some chartreuse, some blue. So Kevin, how do we use these?
All right. Here we go. In different ways in different areas. So we'll start up by the outlet area where you can fish up above. We've already caught lots of fish on those spinners, those exact spinners, the blue and the silver, the purple. We only made like 5 colors. You don't need 25 colors. The number one you need is definitely the blue. Got to have the blue. Fish that blue. It's a good one. Now, blue metallic, that's a popular color. It really works. Now, chartreuse, early in the morning, late evening, you can never go wrong with chartreuse, right?
Yep.
I mean, you just can't go wrong. And then anytime there's cloud cover or anything like that, a silver works. But if you get any of those in front of a fish, normally that'll work. Where we're at the outlet, you got to put your time in. You got to cast and cast some more. And then when you think you're done casting, you got to cast some more. you got to keep going. And then all of a sudden, thump, you get that one bite, whack, yeah. Yeah, great. Warren put in there, hey, salmon will bite anything that's in the green. I agree with that. Green and silver, silver, green, green and silver. Now, blue up by the outlet's probably number one color, but as you get downriver, chartreuse is always your best bet. Um, as you go down where the guys are catching fish, where you're going, they're trolling these things a lot.
Yeah.
They're putting a couple ounces down. They're going a 3-way swivel, drop down with a 2.5, sometimes 3-foot dropper, and then put your spinner back same distance. Don't put it back real far, because if you put it like it'll fall down and hang up a lot more. So the rule of thumb on the spinner for trolling, is 3 and 3 or 4 and 4. Or, if you go 3-foot dropper, go 4-foot leader, but you don't need like a 6-foot leader, not like a quick fish or a plug. And you got to go fast enough to keep that thing spinning. The key is watch the end of your rod, and we'll talk about the rods, for salmon rods and trolling rods. You've got to see that thing spinning. You got to see that rod tip vibrating. If it's not vibrating, you're either not going fast enough or your spinner's fouled up or something like that. So troll up, troll down in the big holes when the water's really fast. Sometimes you can't, troll up. Or you can't, it depends on snags. Every hole's a little different. But troll up, troll down. When they grab it, have your drag set, because when they grab it like a freight train. I mean, they plow it down. People will be like, hey, how do I know when I get a bite?
Well, you'll know.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. He's going to rip it. He's going to chase it down and grab it. And that's the kind of fish we got right now. And so how many fish do we have right now? It's been spotty up where I'm at. Outlet, 1 fish, 3 fish, no fish, blue fish, green fish, red fish. I mean, that's not kind of like Dr. Seuss, that guy. But there's fish that are coming up and kind of stopping, and that those guys there at the Shanghai stuff, they're doing better as a whole than the boys are up above. I mean, I'm fishing a lot of spots, and some days I've not even seen a fish roll, and then other days I'll go through and bam and get a couple right off the bat. So we got more fish to come. That's all that matters. It's just gonna keep getting better.
But we did
keep getting better and keep getting better. We got this little rain system coming in. I'm looking up on the hills. I'm in Orville right now. And I'm looking out my window up at the hills, up on tabletop and up above. It looks like it's raining up there right now. So that's cool. Little thunderstorms coming in. That'll push some fish in. And there's going to be just nothing but fish coming in. Hey, thanks for stopping by the tackle box, by the way.
Oh yeah, and we got plugs too. You got plugs.
Oh my goodness.
Rattle, and then we got plugs that rattle. So we don't know. We're gonna try them both.
Do we have any tackle left? My goodness gracious!
I bought a lot of stuff today and a couple rods. I got some other rods to use tomorrow, and so we're geared up, and we're gonna go. Hopefully, me, it's hit and miss. I may catch, I may not, but I got Anthony. So as long as Anthony's with me, we're
good deal, Anthony. We love you, buddy, and we've been saying prayers for you and your family.
Yeah.
And just know you got a fishing support team out there that loves you, and then there's a higher power that's that's looking over you. So,
and one last thing, it's not salmon related necessarily, but we have to get the beer batter mix. So I bought a couple bags of this today for
nice.
Man, it's I just went to town. It was like a candy store.
So here's the thing. We talked about people noticing the podcast and noticing Old Farts fishing and saying hi on the river and things like that. Buddy of mine calls, says, hey, Kevin, we just had the beer batter last night. Client of ours that is going to Gold Beach with us. And they're like, we had leftover striper from the striper season. We ate it. It was awesome. And we watched the video of you making it. Da, 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 da. So, I mean, how cool is that? So it's working. This little thing that we kind of had in our ideas, we're not any, well, you might be.
No, I'm not.
I'm not no marketing major. I'm not no English professor, although I was a professor at Butte College At least that's what I told the people at COVID to get my result right away. Lord, I'm sorry for lying. I need to ask for forgiveness for that. No, I got a quick story. We can tell the story. So I go in, I'm sick as a dog. I think I got COVID, and it's Thanksgiving time, right? The COVID scares going all over the place. So I go down to this little Anthem Health place because I didn't want to be around family if I had COVID, right? Well, that's not right. So I go in there. It's Friday, we're having our whatever, or it's Wednesday, we're having Thanksgiving on Thursday, whatever, whatever the dates fell together. And I go through the whole test. There's people out all over. And then they go, well, you don't get your test results. And for like 7 days. And I was like, well, I've already been tested at UC Davis several times. I give you a result right away. So, and they're like, unless you're a doctor, you're a emergency person, firefighter, highway patrol, police, EMTs, just stuff like that, or you're a teacher. And I mean, now again, I asked for forgiveness for this because I did lie, but I was like, well, I'm a teacher. I'm a professor at Butte College, and I'm a, check this out. Yeah, I did it. An algebra major. I said it with a super straight face to the lady. Da da da. She said, "We'll get." So I figured with algebra, no one would question me. Who's gonna? If I say I'm an English teacher, well, I know I'm not because I've got slang English. I don't even spell, write, talk, everything else. I'm just kind of like a ghetto street guy. So but algebra, no one's gonna question algebra. And then, algebra leads into trigonometry, and, it just keeps going. So no one's going there because anybody you talk to didn't like algebra. So I pull this out of the air, say that they give me my test result, it's negative, and I go to Thanksgiving. So that's the story. We went to Thanksgiving, and yes, I did lie, but I asked for forgiveness for that. I want to make sure that was my intent was not to hurt anyone in lying. It was just to be with the family. So is that called a white lie? Is it called
a little white lie?
I don't know. I mean, it didn't hurt nobody,
Yep.
but we got the test results and it went through from there. But I did teach a fishing class at Butte College. But if I would have said that I taught a fishing class, they wouldn't have believed me. And so I had to go to algebraic, equations and things like that, and so no one questioned me on that.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
So that's how it laid out. And I don't make a habit of lying. If I said I've never lied, then I would be a liar. But I did ask for forgiveness. So in God's eyes, my slate's clean.
There you go.
Back to this. So that's a cool little story. But back to what's working, is what we're doing is, that's pretty good, Ben. I don't think I could get away with that one. So yeah, that's been through a little comment in there. I'm not going to say what it said, but yeah.
Ben's an interesting guy. He's one of the
I like Ben.
guys.
I like him. Thank you for putting that in there. Good job, man. Oh my goodness.
Hey, but we did make, with that running around today, we did make a big delivery to Johnson's Bait and Tackle for those spinners. Did another live video with those guys, and they're a huge supporter of your stuff. And so if you're looking to get some of the Kevin Brock gear, not only the tackle box, but down at Johnson's Bait and Tackle and a lot of different places as well, or his website. I got to get those plugs in for you, buddy. You got to get.
Well, I appreciate that, and why we're there. If you are a store and you see this later on, and you want it, the guys that were in my boat yesterday were talking about Ghost Tackle, and it's a great tackle store down there. And I went in there, and he's like, "You got to get your stuff into Ghost Tackle," And I got to go. I think his name's, what was his name? I don't want to get it wrong. It starts with a D, Dwayne, or darn it. Anyway, something like that. Somebody helped me out with that one. But anyway, he was a super cool guy. But being a tackle shop owner, you're busy and you're trying to get it all done, and you got lots of inventory. You're trying to sell stuff. Anyway, you go to my website, just drop down, hit the drop down, add in your information, we'll sell you stuff wholesale cost, and the margins are awesome, and we'll promote your store on the air and outside, and it's a win-win for everybody. We're not like gouging people in our prices. Those blue spinners that you just saw Stony holding up, we had a bunch of those that, and a couple dozen there at Johnson's. They sold out, boom, just like that.
Yep.
You know what we did? We made that spinner, and then we made the treble hook with an extra heavy hook on there. So that hook ain't gonna bend out. You're not gonna break it, and the paint on those stays longer. The other paint on other brands, I'm not mentioning them because I'm not gonna knock them, but it flakes off quicker. Ours don't, and they're cheaper price, and you get a better hook. So anyway, I'm not here to knock anybody else by any means, but I'm here to say that we put some time into our stuff, our products that works, and it was tested. I'm going to see if I can pull this bandage off. She did my infusion into my wrist today. Man, it hurts like a you know what.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she kept missing in my arm, so she finally went, right above my wrist. Man, that's a nasty spot. Anyway, so that's that. So we've covered on how to cure roe. We did have, you didn't pick up any of the sardine cure.
I did not. I actually have sardine cure on my boat.
Okay, you already
We use it
have
all
it.
the time. We use
Okay, that's a
it for.
special blend. That's a special blend of stuff that I put together. There's some bite enhancers in there. There's some um, a little bit of aminos in there. There's some cool stuff in there in that powder. Some sulfite, sodium. There's all kinds of stuff in there.
So
Don't eat it. Don't eat it. Don't put that stuff on your steak. But just sprinkle a little bit. Little bit goes a long ways on the sardine. It'll kind of soak in there. It'll hold those juices in there. They'll oil like crazy. They'll look really cool. So try it out. It's stuff I've used over the years, and so many people asked for it because they'd see me shake it on there, that we started making it to sell. So
yep, and I'm gonna let a little secret out here for those guys that are in the catfish scene is sometimes we'll use sardines or anchovies and we'll take that little shake some of that stuff on, and especially in those times where the bite's a little slow and I need something a little kick to get up there, and we'll sprinkle that stuff on, and before you know it, boom, we're catching fish. So
hey, have you smelled that stuff?
oh
You
yeah.
smelled it, yeah. Well, no, 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 no. Don't powder your nose with it. I'm not talking that kind. Don't chop it and snort it. But what I'm talking about is if you smell it, you're like, whoa, Kevin put some stuff in here. And there's some ingredients in there. Again, I'm not going to say what they are because it makes it kind of cool. But there's some stuff in there that is fishy flavor. And when when there's fish around, it does help.
Well, it's funny because we'll be fishing, the bite's a little slow, and I'm doing my rods, Anthony's doing his, and all of a sudden he's kind of in the corner, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he doesn't say anything, and he throws the line back out, and boom, he's hitting, and I'm like, "What did you do?" He's like, "I pulled this little thing out." It's like you're, I'm like, "What is that?" He's all, "That's Kevin's sardines." I'm like, "Hey, all I gotta say is it works."
It does work. It does work. I view it's the same stuff I use while I'm guiding. People are like, "Oh, you don't use the same stuff." Yeah, I do,
Yeah.
because it just helps, So it helps everybody. I've never found that trying to help somebody else out with do cures or with something like that made it to where I couldn't catch fish for my clients. So why not share with people? So
Yeah.
anyway, it's
So we're gonna put
teach
that on and tie our
teach their own.
plugs up. Put that on our plug as well when we put that anchovy wrap on there, the sardine wrap,
Sardine. Go with a
sardine wrap.
sardine on there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sardine wrap.
Roll with a sardine. We got good sardines in there too, and guides if you need any by the case. We've got a good case deal for them there over there at the tackle box in Chico. Um, yeah, so salmon overall. But I did hear a guy, and we're getting our shipment in tomorrow of more cured roe. Check that out. It's coming in tomorrow. Heard a couple guys got some yesterday afternoon drifting eggs. So I think it's getting to be that time. So probably tomorrow or the next day we'll be starting to fish some eggs too.
So that little loop thing that you use when you're using eggs, right? I forgot.
It's called a row loop. It's not a
You,
little loop thing. It's called a row loop.
I'm really highly technical, you know that.
Yeah,
Do you sell those pre-made?
little loop thing. Yeah, we tie them. I tie them in the evening when I don't have anything else to do. Yeah, right. yeah, with all my extra free time, but I'll sit there and tie them. You bet. So we've got row loops already pre-tied.
And they're at the shop or no?
Yeah.
So I must have missed that because I needed to get some of those. I might have to send Anthony up to go get those on Saturday. And it's one thing I meant to get because we definitely want to do some row. We're throwing everything at it this Sunday. We're going to throw everything.
Man, I'll tell you though, I would stick with spinners down there for the most. Give spinners your try in the morning or plugs. If you can get into a spot where if you can't troll and you get that plug working, it's working good, roll a plug out there and then cast a spinner off to the side or something. But if you control a spinner up and down, you're going to do better. I'm just letting you know you're going to do better, especially you're going to do better down there than on eggs.
All right.
I'm not going to say you couldn't catch one egg because one might swallow it down, but you're going to do better down there trolling at right now,
Right now.
for this right now. You know, in 2 weeks that could be different, but right now that's what you want.
No, and you know Ben's online. You know what Ben likes to use is he likes to use those bar S hot dogs. He doesn't care what he's fishing for. He's going to use a hot dog, and I guarantee he'll use that and probably catch a salmon on
What kind? What kind did you say it was?
it. Just the bar S hot dogs.
Bar S. Oh, gotcha. I thought it was Oscar Mayer.
No, he loves his cheap bar S hot dogs. He uses for catfishing. He uses them for everything. I bet you he's use them for salmon. And
Well, as a kid, we fished this little pond. I got another story. So I'm see how am I going to tell this? All right, okay, I got it. So I'm 15 years old, and back then you could get a permit for a motorcycle 6 months before, but you could get a motorcycle license at 15 and a half. There was something to do with that little loophole there. So, but the issue was if you had a motorcycle permit at 15, you still had to have an adult with you, someone over 18. Well, I bought a little Honda 1200 scooter. Literally one of those little ones that you could put 3 gallons of gas in there and drive all week. No joke. No joke. So we're on my little 1200, but there's no back seat. So how can you have 2 people on it?
You're creative.
So I got a permit. Back then we didn't have to wear helmets. So here I am fishing this little pond at night in Paradise called the Duck Pond below the junior high on my little scooter. And we would fish hot dogs in pickle juice.
Yep, I've done that too.
In the pickle jar, the dill pickle jar, when we were done with the pickles, I'd have my mom keep me the jar. And then when we cook hot dogs, I'd take one hot dog, raw one out, and cut it up in little chunks and put it in the pickle juice. That's what we used for catfish bait, and it worked. Probably not as good as livers, probably, but who knows? But it did work, and it was something. It was something that I could put in the refrigerator and then bring out and keep going back and forth, you know, and keep using it. Take it a couple pieces out, hook it on, and go for it. I don't remember what kind of dill pickle juice it was. It was probably Del Monte or Great Value because we were poor and we didn't buy, you know, the Clausen, you know, the high end pickles.
Wasn't kosher.
No. No, it was definitely the low end of the dill. But it was still the point. It was a dill pickle. It was hot dogs and pickle juice, and we caught catfish on it. So I hooked this big old one, get it in. It's like 18 pounds. Catch all these other catfish. I'm going down the road, okay? It's 2:30 in the morning. I'm 15 years old. I got a fishing rod out the back. Now this little scooter, Honda scooter, wouldn't go over 45 miles an hour. And if you've been in Paradise, you know there's all kinds of hills and stuff. I'm going up Wagstaff to ding, 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 ding. I don't think it's gonna make it. What's that? Yeah, something like that. It's spontaneous. You can't duplicate that kind of stuff. And so the tail, I got a stringer and it's wrapped around my handlebar. The tail is dragging on the ground. Ding, 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 ding. And I made it home and we had catfish and all good. And I got in trouble because I was out late and we were supposed to be back. I was supposed to be back at midnight and whatever. So, but the point being is pickles and hot dogs, catfish will eat it,
So I had let something out of the bag.
but not a salmon,
No,
not
no,
a
no.
salmon.
We
No,
use we
no.
use salmon for catfish, but I'll let a secret out is January 1st of this year we went out to Clear Lake. We're doing our thing and do our normal rigs and fishing was a little bit slow. And you had told me about the pickle juice and hot dog, and I believe if my memory serves me correctly because I am old, is I believe the 25-pound catfish that I caught January 1st, 2025 was on the pickle juice and hot dog and letting that out. There's not a lot of catfish guys that. Well, actually, there's a bunch of catfish guys on here. I got Warren, I call him a catfish guy, and Ben's on here, and so don't be
He's
using
not a
my secrets.
Warren's not a catfish guy.
Catfish, he's every guy. He's
He's just a
everything.
good fisherman, dude. He's a fish catcher.
He won first place, first tournament ever he did with the Catfish Bash. Wins first place.
he's a catcher man. That's what it is. Another fisherman. He's not fish. He's catches, and there's a difference there. But I think that hot dog, and you could probably put tuna. You could probably put other oils. Acts as an absorbing unit, kind of like corn for kokanee, and it would suck it in. And then you still got that whatever they make the hot dog out of, the pressed leftover stuff, from the glue factory. Whatever's left there, they press that together to make the hot. So you got all that together, but it would probably suck in, tuna oil, any type of blood,
Oh yeah,
that bloody X. You could probably dump that all over. It would absorb it in. Anyway,
oh yeah.
let's talk about salmon. Come on, we're not gonna go back.
We digressed. We
Yeah,
digressed.
yeah. So yeah, so that was pretty good. Um, talking about we could spend a whole hour on cure and row. And you were asked about that. The key thing is the Ziploc bag and the thought slow. Oh, if you have frozen roe, okay.
Yeah.
Here's a trick on frozen roe. Thaw it in the refrigerator, not outside in the sun. You do it outside in the sun, things freeze, they expand. And so as it thaws, it's going to contract. Well, as it contracts, the other ones that are frozen underneath it will break all that. So, yeah, you're right, Warren. An hour doesn't even cover like one step of different things of what to cure them for different areas. But anyway, but when you thaw it out, thaw it slow, thaw it overnight, but thaw it and cool, or put some ice, put an ice packet, not ice, next to your roe and put it in the refrigerator. Or an ice chest, let it thaw slow.
Well, I'm already on the right track because it is in the refrigerator thawing right now.
Yeah. Well, don't tell Jill about that, and she'll get mad at
It's in
me.
the outside refrigerator.
You'll be like, no, Kevin told me to put it in the refrigerator. Don't be getting me in trouble. You know how many wives have gotten mad at me over the years? Well, Kevin said to do this. Kevin said to do that. No. Don't blame me in that. Don't throw me under the bus. So I got enough problems the way it is in my own world.
Oh yeah.
So the spinners, let's talk about that a little bit, because a lot of guys want to go up and throw spinners and they'll catch fish. I saw a fish caught yesterday on a guy at around noon on a spinner. So you never know. It's a horseshoe line on a blue spinner. And cast it out, let it sink to the bottom if you can. Get it down as far as you can. And give your rod tip a little pop and just reel it fast enough where you feel your rod tip bump, 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 bump. Not ding, 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 ding. That's the scooter. This is your rod tip. Bump, 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 bump. It's just that spinner's going. And when you're trolling them, you want that too. Bump, 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 but you go a little faster. Bump, 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 bump. It's just a little faster there. Keep that baby spinning. The key is to have a rod tip that tells you what's going on.
So the troll, Kevin, on the troll, are we going upriver or downriver?
What's that? You're going to go both.
Okay.
You're going to do both, but go upriver first, because that way you see the snags and then you can avoid them and mark them in your brain where they're at. because when you're going downriver, you're hauling,
You got to go
and
faster because you're going with the current.
you're going faster because you're going downstream. So if you do go upstream first, we need to hold on a second. We need to move that. Can we move that underneath there later on?
So Ben, yes,
All right,
you
back
do
to you.
use weights, Ben, when we do this.
Yeah, yeah. Now, if you're casting off the shore, you might not need to use any weights. But trolling, yes, absolutely. Because the big old blade, you got that big old number 6 blade on there, it's gonna lift up to the surface and kick you on the surface. You got to have weight to get it down. Yeah. And Warren, thank you for throwing in there. I said, 3 to 4 ounces. Warren, depending on where you're trolling, Warren's going to go 2 to 6 ounces. So yeah, he's exactly right on that.
With a three,
Bottom line, you got to get it down. You want to be close to the bottom. You don't want that lure dredging the bottom, because again, they're not feeding. They're not going to go down. If you're dragging the bottom, hanging up, they're not going to go down and eat it. It's got to be up a little bit, but it's got to be some. But you want that sinker, drop it down, hit the bottom where they hit the bottom. You want to be close once in a while, pick it up and keep that thing spinning, and then off you go. The no spin, no bite. Remember that. If it's not spinning, you're not going to get a bite. So you got to make it spin. So, yep. And then, so troll up first. As you're trolling up, you watch your fish finder. You'll be like, oh, there's a big old snag. Well, now you can go out around it without snagging up your spinner. If you're going downstream first, you come over that snag. By the time you make your turn, it's too late. Bingo, bango. You just lost a $6 lure, And if you go on certain days, I guess they're having a promotion at the tackle box. You buy one, get one free. I think it's like Salmon Saturday or something like that. So you can get them for $3 a piece. That's like a stellar deal.
yep, go to their page, go look, and you'll see the promotions there pretty much daily. Sometimes they skip a day here and there, but you can scroll back to the history, look at the day, but pretty much every day, Monday through Saturday, they've got some promotion. They've got some days where you can buy a rod, get one free. You can get these plugs where you buy one, get two free. There's all kinds of great deals at the tackle box. You got to check it out.
Yeah, like good stuff, like good deals, not like just this is 10%, or something like that. No, like seriously, good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, where do you go, to a tackle shop where they're going to buy a rod and they're going to give you another one for free? That's just unheard of. Check out the video I did today out there, but definitely like and follow the tackle box, as you'll see all the deals that come up.
Yeah, we're just helping them out, and everyone's like, "Oh, you bought the tackle box." No, I didn't buy that tackle box. Yeah, I'm a fisherman. I don't have tackle box money just laying around. No, I'm a fishing guide, and I'm a well, let's be honest, I'm a tackle junkie. They don't have a tackles anonymous. They don't have a tackle. I'm a tackle junkie group. I wish they
So,
did, because we could all sit around and talk about how many lures we were at. Because like Warren would be the head of it, because I know what he's got. He's got stuff like me, but they don't have they don't have groups for people like us.
but
So,
I found out, Kevin, how you can make $1 million being a fisherman.
well, I mean, I've made a million. I mean, over the
Oh,
years, I made a couple
oh.
million, but
Yeah, but you
but
know how you make 1 million as a fisherman?
I've lost it all. Yeah.
You start with 1 billion.
Well, that would be true. So, well, I'm married, you're married, so we're all out. We got to find that $1 billion uncle, and figure that one out. And you find the $1 billion uncle, and when you find him, you buy the house at Clear Lake.
I'm working on it.
I'll have the house on the river with a dock, and then Warren, you buy a house like on Bullard's Bar or somewhere, get a dock space. So whatever lake you want. That way we got the lake for kokanee and trout. We got the river for salmon and everything, and stripers with me, and then we'll go over and fish Clear Lake with you. So yeah,
So Mike's got a question here.
yeah. Okay, serious question now.
Yep. So is a Brad's Killer Fish K15 the same size as a KB ZZ16?
They're no, not a 16. They're a little different. 16's a little bigger, but if you compare a ZZ15 with a Brad's 15, yeah, they're very similar in size. They do have different actions. I've made mine a little different. Um, Mine are kind of my 13. Well, we'll go over real quick. My ZZ13 is great for springers, and 14s have adjustable eyes. It's the only 13 on the market with where you can tweak the eye in the front to tune it perfect. Um, my 14s are in between an M2, which is a flatfish, and a K14 old school. Not these new school ones. Those things are, well, I'm not going to bad talk anything, but anyway. So they're in between that. My 15 dives really nice. My 16 can flatline and dive amazing. And my 17 is the only one on the market that's that big. It's a 17, ZZ17. Back when they first opened the Sacramento River, we used it for the opener. What was that? 3 years ago, 4 years ago? I was the first boat out of like 60 boats in there to limit out. They were smashing that 17. It was super popular. And of course, they shut the season down. But that 17 is an awesome plug. I used it on the Togiak. We used it on the Nushagak. And those are in Alaska out of Bristol Bay. And they just kill the tidewater fish coming in, flatlining it. It was awesome. We got the biggest kings of the whole lodge, and they were caught on those. But back to you on that question, Ben. A 15
For
and a
Mike.
15. Yeah, I meant Mike. That's what I said. Mike and Ben. Ben had another question. So Ben was upset about the hot dog thing that you didn't tell him. Ben, I didn't know, Ben. I didn't know if Stoney didn't tell you. I'm sorry. That's between you and Stoney. Don't
I
throw
gotta
me,
keep some secrets sometimes.
man, the old hot dog and pickle juice. And so, but the 14 and 14 are close to the same size of quick fish, Brads, of the ZZs, all the way through. Yeah, they're close to the same size. And they all work good, buddy. They all work good. Mike, they work good. The Brads work good. They all work. So whatever you like. I just put a little more time into mine, into field testing them in different rivers where I know they work for me. We worked for Department of Water Resources before the salmon season opened. They gave us 50 tags. I caught 50 spring run salmon, actually 51, but one was a jack, so we didn't put a tag on it. So we used up 50 tags the Department of Water Resources hired me for, and 90% were caught on the ZZ14, and then the rest were caught on that blue spinner. So depending on where you were at. So that they were field tested, tried, true, caught fish. That was it. So that was a really cool thing. Now, once the fall fish start stacking up, that 16 and 17, don't forget that ZZ17, that 17 will shine. And when we start fishing them, I'll let everybody know. We'll do a podcast. I'll be like, this is the one we're using. This is it. Right now, there's just not a lot of fish in the system. You can get a few of them, but man, I've been having to work my tail off to get a few fish. And some days they just didn't bite.
Right.
And some days I didn't get any. And I was just like, oh, are you kidding me? But I fished every day since the 16th. And we'll keep fishing. But there's just not a lot of fish. Anyway, okay, that's that. That's the answer to the long
Answer.
roundabout. Long answer. We
So
got
we,
time. We got time.
yeah. And so you, going to Gold Beach here soon.
Yep.
Yep, I got Warren and Dave Mayo and Anthony. Anthony, we had a couple seats open up. You filled one of them, and I still have an open seat we're trying to fill. If you want to get out with the old farts guy with Kevin Brock and some cool guys with Warren and David, we're gonna shoot a lot of video and have a great time. And so there is a seat open. Reach out to Kevin or myself. We'll get that thing filled. And
Yeah.
I do have an extra room that if you want it, let me know. If not, I'll release it.
Yeah, I'll talk to that guy. I think he's going to need a room.
Okay.
So at least I put him on the schedule. Uh, I didn't want to send it all out to all our clients because everybody would want it, and then we wouldn't be able to get who picked it first. I'd be guiding, and that always turns into a cluster. So
We'll raffle it
we'll
off.
we'll do it. Whatever you want to do, buddy. Whatever you want to do. What am I the co-host? Yeah, I'm the. Or you're the
I'm the
co-host.
host, and you don't like the word star, but this is what it's all about. This is all about.
No, I'm no star. Yeah, no, I don't
And I'm
like that
just
word.
the
Because
host, and
star is like stardom is like better than other people, and I'm not that.
this
I'm
is
just a guy.
a joint effort. So
No,
well,
no, we're not doing the joints. We're not no joints, Tony. That's not this thing. I told you that. I told you in the beginning, we're no joints, no cocaine, none of that powder in your nose, none of that stuff.
hey, I've been on this this back issue for a while, and one of the things that with my medications I have to take for my back is no more safety meetings. No more safety meetings right now because I can't get the meds if I have my safety meeting. So it's going good, and the back's not, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway, we digress again. But yeah, this is a joint effort. It's a co-host host. It's our podcast. This doesn't happen without you, and I'm just here to jabber and get it going. So
Well, it sure doesn't happen without you. I mean, you got the cameras and the video and the action, and take two stuff. I mean, I bought this computer and I was on a meeting that was somewhere else. It was another meeting. It wasn't even our meeting.
it's probably
So
my Monday meeting.
it was exactly where I was at. And it's not Monday. And so you weren't there. So anyway, we're all good and we'll keep it going. We just want to keep catching fish and take care of people and do what we want to do. And bottom line is, the only reason we're here is because God allows it. I mean, that's the truth. Look at this week. How many people that we've known have had issues or have died? I mean, okay, is it just rumor, or did the Hulk man really go?
Hulkman died today. Ozzy Osbourne passed away. I think it was yesterday. And we're just as you get older, more and more people are gonna go.
I mean, the Hulk was the ugly
Oh,
stick, baby. Kmart was the first one to get him, dude. It was the number one selling fishing rod in the world, the ugly stick. Oh, I'm the Hulk of Mania. It was awesome. You couldn't break it. I didn't like them because they weren't sensitive. I was like, these things suck. I mean, they did. I mean, they were like a broomstick. They wiggle. You couldn't feel nothing on them. I bought the little Berkeley Stingers, and the thing. I couldn't afford the Lightning. The Lightning was $29.99, but the Berkeley Stinger was $19.99, and I saved up all summer to get that one. And that was the one I threw all my Gitsits on, and Warren knows about those, and all my little Kalen 3-inch grubs when we used to fish Orville. With who? My auto shop teacher. That's up to him, my friend. But anyway, so people are dying, and the only reason we're here is because God, yeah, no kidding. The pocket fisherman. That thing sucked too. I'm sorry, Ben. That thing. I mean, it was a total ploy for people to buy stuff. It was like the flying lure or something. Those things were terrible. The hooks were as dull as could be. The only reason I know is because we bought them, and so the advertisement worked for us too. But the pocket fisherman was like one of those that, you know, you know, it wasn't sensitive enough. You couldn't do what you needed to do with it, you know. And who would have ever thought? I mean, who would have ever thought of paying $100 for a fishing rod? Are you out of your mind? Now we just did it. That's like, oh, $100. That's a good deal. Wow,
yeah.
it's $100. I mean, it's crazy how things have evolved with technology and stuff. But yeah, so back to God, and what's going on. The only reason we're here is because He allows it and He gives us another day. And people around us, when it's your time to go, you go. And you're not stopping it. You know, I was really sick. I had kind of an experience where I was supposed to die. I didn't. God gave me a second chance, but it was because of Him, no other reason. Well, I mean, our lives are so fragile. We drive down the road every day, and every day, someone dies of a automobile accident. More than one.
Yeah.
Every single day. Every single day. And so we're just here along for the ride. So for me, I'm at peace knowing I'm going to heaven. That's what I believe, you know? So that's what that's where it's at, you know. I mean, and that gives you peace. And then I just try to get the fish to bite. You know, that's me. Other people have their own things in their own ways. But I mean, we're getting older. Ozzy, you know, Ozzy went down. I mean, I wasn't supposed to listen to him, and because we were from a Baptist family, Baptist church, you know, he bit the head off, you know, and everyone was like, he's a Satan worshiper, you know, he's satanic and all that, yada yada yada. But I mean, some of his songs were pretty good. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, Mama, I'm coming home. I mean, that was a good one, man. You know, it was, you know, talk about some struggles he went through, but he's going back to his roots. He's going back home. I mean,
Yeah.
and then you got the Hulkamania, man. I mean, he was out there, and you know, hopefully at the end, you know, his life was good. You know, hopefully his kids reached out to him and said hi. You know, I don't know his story. I never got to talk with him. I never got to fish with him. I fished with a lot of celebrities over the years, but I never got to fish the Hulk man. Should have, um, but you know, just never did. Um, well, we're getting older, and it could happen to us at any time. You know, I mean, wow. I mean, icons of our era, the Hulkamania, Ozzy Osbourne, gone. I mean, somebody else probably, I mean, and other people are dying too that probably had more influences and better people than Ozzy and the Hulk. I don't know. I don't know who they helped. I don't know how they were. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's not for me to judge. Hopefully they had their time and their connection with God, and hopefully we all get to hang out with them in heaven. You know, so.
So you guys new to this podcast or knew what's going on, definitely go on to Old Farts Fishing. There is a podcast with Kevin Brock where, you know, he talks a little bit about his journey of you know, almost dying. There is a podcast where where we dove down deep, got real personal. It's a tearjerker is all I can say is go check that podcast out. You'll get the whole backstory of what Kevin's gone through, and it just gives you so much more appreciation of life and what we do. And you know, God brought Kevin and I together. I don't know how. You know, we got this little brown guy and this white guy here, and we're just doing our thing, having a good time. And you know, Kevin told some stories in some of the old podcasts of his first impressions of me, and I laughed and laughed. My stomach hurt so hard after after I got the truth of what Kevin thought of me, and here we are. So.
Well, I didn't want to judge you, you know, but here we are. But you know, and then on your side, I mean, you know, you had been with some guides and different people, and this is not a judgment because I'm not perfect and I haven't been perfect in my life, so I'm not here to judge. But maybe they weren't on the up and up, or they weren't, you know, in the same realm as well. I want to do good for other people, and I want to do just better. I want to be just better,
Just
you
better.
know,
Just do
just
better.
better, just do better. You know, maybe they're not in that. Maybe they're more selfish for themselves. So maybe you thought, well, all guides are just real, you know what, arrogant, the arrogant the arrogant donkey. I can say that.
No,
Yeah. So I've had a few girlfriends call me that over the years.
but I've
Yeah,
been through. I've been through a
thank
few
goodness.
people. That's
So and you know and then it was just weird, like I said, how we came together, and I saw you, and I'm like, dude, this guy's, you know, reaching for something, and he's, you know, he's just, this guy ain't the guy that I
wait, wait,
should be
wait.
dating.
The exact words were phony baloney. I think that's what you said.
That is exactly true. And I've never tried bologna in pickle juice. That might be something that would work too, but the hot dog thing stays on better. But yeah, no, I mean, that was but again, I kept that to myself. I didn't spread that around, you know, but that's what I thought. I'm like, oh my goodness, you know. But then, you know, you dig into people, oh, that shell, and, you know, they got a heart and what they're going through, and maybe someone they're close to, and what their wife's going through. Everybody's got a story. Everybody's been through the the ringer. Everyone's walked through the crap, man. And then does it make you better or does it make you bitter? You know, you step out and you just try to do better. And we all have hard days, and we all have days where we wish we could have caught more fish for the client, or we wish we could have done better. But you know what? We took care of them. Or you wish you could have done a better photo shoot, or, you know, figured out, you know, when to you know, get that millionaire, billionaire Ben, you're out. Ben, you're completely out. You know, Ben's out for any type of money. If he's had three wives, he's broke as a joke. So, so, but you know, we need that, you know, billionaire uncle to come in so we can all have houses on the water so we can take people fishing. But until that day comes, and we're not looking for that. We're just joking around with that.
Oh yeah.
We're just going to do the best we can do for others, and we're just going to try to do a little better every day. And when we fall, we ask God for forgiveness. We try to do better, and we keep going.
Yes, we
I
do.
mean, that's
So,
all. That's all you can do.
so
You know,
we are.
we put out product in our store, stuff. You know, the tackle box. We don't own it. Again, you know, they came to us. They put hundreds of thousands of dollars in of our inventory into their store for us to help them sell. So we, of course, we market for them. Of course, we promote them. Of course. Well, I mean, you know, it's a team effort. Do I own the store? No. Am I competition with anybody else? No, not at all. Not at all. You guys can get the same products for the same margins that they did. And so that's how we're leaving that. And we're just glad to be a part of everything. We love to go on these tangents and these circles, and we love to just derail from the
Oh yeah.
conversation. But we also covered a few things. And we all, you know, what brings us back together is the love of fishing, the love of people, the love getting out there, getting fishing. You know, you ask Warren, he loves to go fishing with people. You ask other guides if they truly love the sport. It's about seeing the other people get a fish. And sometimes you ache inside. You want them to get a fish way more than you care about how many you caught as a guy. Oh, oh, look at me, look at me. No, you're like, and I really want that guy to catch a fish. Or that kid. He's a guy. I saw a guy on a boat catch one the other morning, and they float down and they high five, and he's got a little kid. The kid's got a life jacket on, and thumbs up to him. The kid's just amped up, man. He's jumping up and down. They got one. They got one. They got one. You know. And if you remember the first time you caught a fish, and spend some time with people, take them fishing. You know,
I'm
it's
still waiting.
kind of a cool thing, man. Kind of a cool
Yeah, we
thing.
are almost at the top of the hour here,
Hey, that's
and
all right. That's all
the
right.
hour just flies by. It's always
If
great.
I get a little sleep, if I get a little
Yep.
sleep, I can keep the conversation going. You
Yep.
know, I mean, it's okay, but it's when I start mumbling and dragging out, you know, I've about 4 hours of sleep and I'm losing it. You know, I
Yep.
start singing a song. You know,
Um,
what what was one of your favorite Aussie songs?
that one right now is my favorite. That "Mama, I'm Coming Home." I mean, it's
Oh, it was
a
so
whole
good.
a
It was a
whole other
later,
meaning right now.
yeah,
With him passing, and I've heard a lot of rumors. That this was kind of planned. This was his last thing, but I heard that he was setting up to basically he was done living. He got diagnosed with Parkinson's, and he basically just picked the date to say this is my last day. This is my last hurrah, and there was a lot of arrangements made, and he went out on his own terms. So that's
yeah.
awesome when you can do that.
Yep, yep, yep. And no one's here to judge that. No one knows what he was going through, and no one's been in his shoes. So none of us are judging that. We just hope that he's at peace now and all is good. That's what we can only hope for him and his family and other people. But yeah, that's what popped into I mean, Crazy Train,
Oh yeah.
pops in my head. But that's like when you're amped up and you're going to the river and you know you're gonna whack them and you got a hole that's full of fish. You put on the Crazy Train. But those were his later albums, when he calmed down a little bit, and
You know what
yeah,
the sad part is? I just realized is that era of music, that time frame is my kids now say, Dad, that's old people music.
that's awesome. Oldies
Like,
but goodies or whatever. Okay, but
yes.
here's the thing. Here's the thing about this, and no one can argue this at all your big sporting events, and then we'll be done here. Your football games, the Super Bowl. Okay, all your big time amp up, get everybody ready to go. What do they play? Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle, AC/DC, Back
AC/DC.
in Black, here we go, Ozzy Osbourne, right on, Crazy Train. They play that stuff. That was a time of our lives has never been duplicated and probably never will be duplicated since. We
Nope.
got to be a part of that. They still use that. It was a raw, harsh, scream it out, but there was some reality in it. You know, I mean, welcome to the jungle. I mean, here we go. I mean, here it comes. Those were times that it was an adrenaline, endorphin rush. We played it before. We would play baseball, basketball, get you go, whatever, on the way to the river, whatever you want to call it. It will be a test of time. And, no one else. I mean, there's guys that still remember Elvis, and Elvis was a big thing, when it came out. And, you can go back in history and look at that, or the black music. And there was black people that actually sang better than Elvis. But because of that era, that time, I'm not prejudiced, but I'm just saying that's the reality of that time. They didn't get to go mainstream. And then you get this Elvis guy that's got a, kind of a black voice, African American voice. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to offend anybody, so please don't take
No.
it that way.
We're
But
too
that's
sensitive. We're too.
that's reality. That's what it was. And then he hit the record label, and then at that time, whites were the majority, and boom, they caught on. So he became popular. Would Elvis even be popular now? No, he wouldn't even make it to the radio. But it was just the timing. It was how it went,
Oh yeah.
and that was it. But nothing will compare to the Motley Crue's,
That's
Guns N'
80s.
Roses,
The 80s music.
AC/DC, hair bands that rocked us all at the time. We will, Queen. What? Rock you. Boom, boom. Rock you. Boom, boom. Tell me it wasn't there. Tell me
Kevin's
it wasn't.
tired.
It
Kevin's
would
tired.
fill the stadium. It was a part of what we love to do. And we're not condoning any negative music. It's just what we went through.
Oh
So
yeah.
anyway, kind of cool.
Anyway, so we are at the top of the hour here. I'm going to be respectful of people's time. Remember,
I'm sorry, Ben.
every
Been sick of me after an hour
that's
already.
all right. But
Hey, you know what? Along with me and your three wives. All right.
oh yeah. But we every Thursday, 7 o'clock, we do this live podcast with Kevin. I try to get it out within a couple days out onto the YouTube and where everybody else can see it and onto Facebook. And then if you're bored on Monday nights, definitely tune in to A Minute with Stony Stone. We dive into a lot of different things, a lot of catfishing, and I always pull in guests. I got Big Nate from Nate's Guide Service coming on Monday as my guest.
Who's using our new fishing rods and loves them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll ask him about that. That'll be
Oh yeah,
awesome.
it's on my checklist to talk about your rods with Big Nate, but I do have a list of guests that is growing
We
for
love you, Ben.
September.
Ben, we love you, buddy. We're just joking too. We love you. It's all good.
Oh yeah, so tune in to A Minute with Stony Stone at 7 o'clock on Mondays, and we always have guests, and we put it out there. And I'm all about supporting local small business, whether you're a tackle shop guide or just a fisherman you want to get on. And I had Warren on as a guest before, and you got a lot of these guys that go across from podcast to podcast. So we definitely appreciate the support. And Kevin, we're going to see you on the water. We definitely need to get on the water next week and do some filming. I got to power through my back issues regardless because whether I'm on the water fishing or sitting on the couch, the pain isn't any different. So I'd rather be fishing.
Man, let's just try to figure it out. We'll keep going. We got lots of good stuff coming up. This isn't the end, though. It's just the beginning of what we got. All right. We love you all. Check out, fishkevinbrock.com. Anything that you want, call me, cell phone, text me if you need something, and just keep in contact. We'll go from there. God bless you all. Thank you all.
Thank you. Till next week. Peace out.